This is not what anybody wants to see. Okay, that's better. That's better. All right, beautiful. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We got stand up. Who would like to lead us for stand up today?
Let's assign the duty to Pablo. He's efficient.
Pablo's really good.
Okay, I'll be the
Pablo,
product
Pablo, you've been volunteered.
voluntold. Thank you, Sabone. No, happy Friday, guys. Let's do this. 2 minutes. What you did this week, what you're going to be working on next week, because it's already Friday, and let us know if you have any blockers. That's really the chief, most important one. If you have a demo or if you have an outstanding question that you want to bring up in terms of a discussion, please indicate that you're going to have a discussion or a question or a demo that you want to highlight, but we're going to wait for everyone to give their stand up, and then at the end we jump into those. 2 minutes per person per update. We're going to go from top left to right and then down. So we're going to begin with Atish. Take it away.
Okay, so yeah, I finished onboarding. I had a blocker in setting up the backend, but it's resolved this morning, so that's good. I'll start looking through how to build the chatbot, which will help users better understand the experiment results. And I did some research into Facebook audiences to see the different traits and characteristics we can pull for populations. So if that's interesting, um, I added Sabot to look into that whenever he's available. That's all for me.
Record fast getting the back end up and running. Nice work, Atish.
Thank you, Atish. Now we're going to move on to Abdel Raham. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Again,
I promise
Pablo.
I will work on this.
You can call me Mo if it's easier for you.
Mo,
Uh, yeah,
thank you.
yeah, no worries. So for me, I was working on an issue mentioned by Tadvik, and it's solved now. The issue was because we have in the Docker file we have two Docker files. Basically, because our package is taking too much time to be set up or installed inside the Docker image. So the man who did this Docker file, his aim was to get the deployment as fast as he can. So he separated this Docker file into two Docker files. Basically, one is the first one is for installing our packages, which is the base image. So we are not adding our packages every day from time to time. So basically, he decided to separate them. And when we add any R package, we need to rebuild the base image again. So to be included so and the app image. That was the issue. The base image wasn't built or wasn't updated last time our packages was added. So I have updated the pipeline to check if the base file or the base Docker file is changed or any R packages are added. It will rebuild it and deploy the application without any issues. So it should be fixed now over the four environments that we have. Yeah, I think that's it.
And is this Mo? This is now automatic deployments.
Yeah, automatic. Yeah.
Nice. I think that was a big problem for us on on the Chinese.
Uh, Basically, the issue was the base image wasn't built. That's the issue. So I have added a step into the pipeline to check if the Docker file or the base the base Docker file changed. Using a diff command, it will rebuild the base image and include it in the last release of the app. So it should be automatically deployed right now.
And you said we had 2 Docker files? Or we now have 1 Docker file? Or not Docker file,
It's
build,
we
build
still
file, excuse me?
Yeah, we still have two. The first one is the base file. This includes the R packages. So we are not adding R packages every day. So it's better to keep it as it is to make the deployment faster, as installing R packages taking too much time. About, I think, from 10 to 15 minutes. So
I thought the
imagine every time.
wait, hold
Mhm.
on. I thought the whole point of Docker was that if the packages don't change, you don't have to rebuild.
Yes, exactly. But if you have this locally, as Docker depends on something called caching, layer caching. So if you run the same Docker file in your local machine, Docker will configure each line in Docker consider as a layer. So Docker will manage this layer from the caching. But from the pipeline, it's a one-time running. So every time he need to rebuild it again.
So okay, so we have 2 build files, one for local, one for the server.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I got it. Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, thank you.
Is
Back to
that
you again, Bob.
by the way? Does this issue happen not just with Voight Conf but with all of our libraries?
Uh, to be, to be honest, I didn't check others. Uh, I just checked this one mentioned by Tadrick, so I'm not sure if anyone facing the same issue in other applications or not.
Yeah, I would say check Rehoboam if we may have the same issue. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Okay, let's proceed, guys. We're well over our 2-minute threshold. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Pablo.
That was actually really insightful, and yes, a big problem that we're working to solve. Thank you. Ambush.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So I've picked up a task of implementing comprehensive LLM tracing. So we are shifting from, I think, 1DB to Langsmith. And the other task that I'm looking into is how we can implement the ELK stack. So, we could get all the fields sent over to the API endpoint, and maybe all those objects could get returned and stored in some traceable format. So on that point, I'll be also setting up a meeting with Rohit, who can probably help me out with that. And the other task that I was working on was communicating with the iQrate team. So I'm currently waiting on the data that I can send to them, and maybe then they can point out some issues or how we could move forward with that. So yeah, that's it for me.
Perfect. Thank you, Ambush. Avi, feel free to go next.
Good morning. I turned around the PwC contract this week. Scheduled a couple of initial investor meetings. These are inbounds, so we don't have a process, but probably every day we get at least 1 or 2 investors emailing us asking us for a meeting. I don't know what happened over the last couple of weeks or maybe months, but like it's really picked up. Maybe there's some like incentive for people to deploy capital before the end of the year. Maybe we're getting some traction. I don't know what's changed, but for some reason there's been a step change in inbounds. I've been trying to get through my emails, which has been rough. But we put together all of the onboarding work for next week. We have 2 more folks that we're onboarding on Monday in engineering, and then on Tuesday, I believe we have 1 person
Marketing.
onboarding in marketing, and then next Monday, and then a month, 3 weeks after that, we have another person we're onboarding in marketing. And then between now and Monday, I would really love a public release. And then I will be working on AHA, and as the output of the last sprint retrospective, I will be working on aligning everyone's tasks. I'll probably be pairing up new folks and old folks and aligning people to either experimental execution, synthetic respondents, experimental design, or analytics, or the human baseline. So expect those kind of those roles early next week. And yeah, and that's it.
Okay, thank you. Florian?
Yep. Hello, everybody. This week I got set up, onboarded, set up the back end with the help of Madi. It's set up now. Yesterday I was assigned tasks by Avi, and I was looking into them today. The one I worked on is proposing a function to test for unrealistic attributes and labels. And I came up with an initial function to try and do it. And I was hoping in the next, or after this week, the daily tasking, to propose it to someone and see if it would work so I could get started coding it. I also need the go-ahead that I can actually work on it. I think Subad is supposed to give me the go-ahead. Yeah, other than that, nothing. And for next week, I'm going to try and work on this task, get it coded up, and then do the other remaining tasks I was assigned.
Beautiful. Thank you, Florian. Let's hand it over to Hadi.
Hello everyone. So this week I wrote a unit test for pages, experiments, ideation, and sites page. It's not complete because I need to write for other components as well. And also I worked on a Pendo guide to show on user click. It's the PR is made. And also the work with Mahdi to fix the running failed experiments. And some other small bugs like pagination, which should not show less than if there is less than 10 experiments. That also fixed. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Thank you, Hadi. I will go. Let's go, Madi. Let's go. He jumped on camera, so he slotted ahead of me.
All right. So, yeah, this week, Iceboot fixed the bugs which reported on the panic button and also on test. So we went through them and fixed them, and also, I work with I'm working with Sohani on the documentation. This documentation, there was a ticket that we have different documentations on Fern, and the public documentation should be on Fern, and private should be on GitHub. This is a comprehensive task, working on it. And also onboarded and assigned tasks to new engineers, set up the projects on their machine. And also I have a blocker, and the blocker is that I need confirmation on releasing, which I think I have today I have tested, and yeah, I think it's ready. So I need confirmation on this. If we release to prod, then the older experiment may not work. So yeah. So that's it.
Got it, Marty. Thank you. So we
And you
go
ran
ahead.
a wonderful sprint retrospective.
Thank you.
Let's tackle that question after everyone does the stand up. It's a good one. It's an important one. And then align and make a decision thereafter. Thank you, Marty. I will finally go. Been very busy. The beginning of the week was outreach. The latter part has been really focused on conducting interviews. We have some really big talent coming in through the pipeline. We have 2 levels of interviews, just so that everyone knows. The first one is more of a feeler culture type of interview to understand if this is the right fit, and if they pass competency and all that stuff. The second layer of interview is that we provide them with a case example for which they can prepare, create a deck, etc. And the goal is for them to pitch to myself, Avi, if he has availability, to really judge them on their ability to sell and be analytical and turn pain points into value. And so it's much more robust. We're also going to test them on whether they have the ability to ingest feedback, how teachable they are, how humble they are. And that'll be the final process. So we're almost done. We have many more interviews to go, and that's the big goal, so that within hopefully 2 weeks, we have a super stable platform, we have a super mature BD growth team, and we have marketing on all fronts, so that we hit the ground running. So that's what we're working towards. We also have a BSci launch. So the BSci.io partnership started their training program this week. By the 16th is when they're going to incorporate Subconscious AI into the curriculum. And so we need onboarding, Fern, knowledge base, all that documentation stuff live before that. Okay. So it'll be a great time because everything is merging together. And that's it. I'll shut up. I'm going to hand it over to
Sorry,
Rupesh.
one question.
Yep.
How much time do you have for that?
I would like to have the knowledge base. We already have the content. I just need to know where and how to add that content on Fern or wherever it is that we want to push this content. I would like to have that done, to answer your question, next week, early next week, if possible. This has been an outstanding ask for 2 weeks. Yeah.
I can show you where and how to add the documentation on Fern.
Oh, love you, Marty. All right, let's connect after. Yeah, the more I can own, right, the better. That way it's less pressure and work on everyone else. So happy to own that. Rupesh, take it away.
Hi everyone. I got setup done with the help of Madi for the holodeck, and I got a Doppler key, and I'm also looking for the access for the Sentry, which Madi tried actually, but I didn't get any email of the access yet. And I also I was assigned with a few tasks related to the end-to-end implementation, testing implementation, and also fixing the pending experiment issue. I'm also holding on to the code flow right now. Once I'm done with that, then I will move on to fixing those issues. That's it from now.
Beautiful. Bias to action. I see that from everyone on the team. I love it. That is a core tenet of the culture that we're building here. I will pass it over to the professor, Subodh.
I think Marty gave pretty much my update. So we went through at least 10, 12 failed runs, looked into why they were failing. We fixed it. We really hope now we should not run into any issue in terms of experiments breaking midway in the dev. So try, see, 99% it should not break at all. So that's
Wow.
all I would say.
Love it.
And just a side note, just did the quick Spearman correlations for the based on Heinmuller, based on the humans, and it turns out to be 0.85. So, and I pasted the code and everything in the baseline channel. If
And
anybody, yeah.
and we are at about 0.6.
Okay.
Is that right?
I don't know the updated numbers. I mean, they keep going up and down as apps keeps adding more and more.
Yeah. What are we if we replicate Heinmuller with Core 2? What do we get?
I don't know. We need to ask Al.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
And just now that we are on this point, remember, Suhani, that we're saying some weird numbers coming out yesterday when you're running from Biogene, and I did say those
Yes.
numbers should not be big. I don't know what is wrong with Biogene, but it just keeps giving you weird numbers. So what I did was I had my own code written and I ran. So sometimes packages are not that great. You need not rely blindly on them.
So you coded it without any packages.
No, it's all, yeah, manual code. I have shared with you. Go through it. Let me know.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thanks. I'm done. You're next.
Hi everyone. So this week I started working on updating our documentation using Fern. I've been working with Madhi, and we need to bring the PDFs and public documents on the Gitbook to Fern, and the private documents to GitHub. And I've started working on that. And Subodh's made some great progress with the Heinmuller beta value calculations. So yeah, we were struggling to get the normalize the beta values, and yeah, so that's finally figured out.
Does this allow for effect coding, or is that a separate issue? Oh, you're on mute, Subodh.
Subodh, you're on mute.
I can handle that in my code, but I still need to implement that in the our platform. So maybe next week I'll sit with Tatavik for that. She's been busy this week with other stuff, so I did not bother with that.
Yeah, because that should. One thing I noticed is that the Spearman R is much higher for experiments with a larger number of attribute levels than fewer. Maybe that's not statistically significant.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, long term, we need to come up with something other than Spearman. We'll see what can be done.
Totally. I mean, when I look, yeah, I'd love to sit with you, Subodh, after this and take a look at the Spearman correlation for Core 2 versus Core. And I think, based on that meeting, I'd like to assign some tasks over the next couple of weeks to see if we can improve it. But that's a separate item.
Beautiful. All right. Last but definitely not least, one of the coolest data scientists that I know, and a person that I've personally bothered a lot in these last few weeks with enhancements, and who's been crushing it, Tatavik.
Thank you for the introduction. Happy Friday, everyone. So the week started with me testing the analytics, making sure that it works smoothly with multiple continuous variables. Even as far as yesterday, I ran some experiments, so I haven't seen any issues there. So we can assume everything is fine there. Yesterday and today I went back to working on the UI stuff. So I made some pushes to the Void Camp. We have a new button in the dashboard. When you click it, it will take you back to the experiments page as Subot wanted. So even if you like walk to the tabs, this button will follow you. So that's that. The other issue was the following. If you have noticed, when you load the app, it's blank and then it starts loading. So there is a better, like, there is a much better Java solution for that, which have been not successful implementing. So what I did is a temporary solution. The dashboard waits for all results to load, then it loads. So the first page waits for the last page to load. This is still the case, but I learned that in RShiny I can put priorities. So the first graphs will load faster than everything else. So if you load an experiment, you will notice it's like starts loading faster. So it doesn't show a blank space, if it makes sense.
Nice.
Awesome. And those updates are in the dev environment that we're challenging everyone to test now, today, please. Correct?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Anyone else that hasn't given their stand up? Just curious. I think we're good, but just want to make sure. You're all important. I think everyone got it covered. Okay, so an outstanding ask that I heard is everyone, please go to the dev environment, try to break it, try to get the bugs, try to understand what it is, because that's going to trickle down to the test environment, and then it's going to go trickle down to the production environment. And that's what customers are going to be seeing, or prospects are going to be seeing. We got to get that cleaned up. So we need to empower our dev team by testing it out. I will actually track and see who is actually running experiments and who is saying that they're running experiments and testing it out, but really aren't. That's important. We're one team, guys, okay? So that's one thing. Second thing we wanted to talk about was Hadi, or Madi, you wanted to talk about what are the next steps to release. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So first, I wanna say that the dev and test are the same. I released to test, so now they are the same. Yeah.
Do you want us to
And
test in test environment or in dev environment?
I would like to test in test.
Okay, so let me clean that up then, and let me reframe. So test the test environment. Very clear. So that, and if you find a bug, make sure that you specify that it's the test environment, so they know exactly where to go. We want to make it easier for them. Beautiful. Thank you. Keep going.
Yeah, so after that, we can release to production. Yeah, so that's it. There will be some work on the production because we moved to Python 3.11, and I need to do some to upgrade this on the server as well. Then we will be good. Also, I want to mention that if we release to production, the older experiment will not work because it's different, and we have updated the core and everything, so we will lose them. Is this okay or not?
That's a great question, Madi. Would love to get Avi's input.
I mean, I think as long as we communicate to the users, that will be fine. It would be great to have some sort of process where, every time we make these breaking changes, we either rerun analytics, right? Because I think it's analytics that breaks, or rerun the breaking experiments. So like go through the active users, go through their experiments, and then just rerun the experiments for them. Or rerun analytics for them. So we should have some. I mean, this time it's probably fine because this is kind of a super big change. So I would say for this time it's okay. We can just notify them like, hey, sorry, but this is happening. You know, but there should be some more elegant solution going forward. Like I can think of a third solution: version the APIs, right? Because if we version the APIs and if we move analytics into the APIs, then we also don't have backwards breaking changes. So for now, I would say for this one, it's fine. This is an extreme case, but you know, because it's our first launch. But going forward, we should probably not be okay with that.
All right. So from your speeches, the version of the API will be in the next sprint. We'll have it.
Well, I don't know if that's the right solution. I'm saying version the APIs or find a way to asynchronously run analytics, or find a way to asynchronously rerun broken experiments. You know, some other elegant solution.
Does this warrant a separate ticket, like a spike to do a study and test and assessment?
I mean, we shouldn't have backwards breaking changes after this too frequently.
I mean, after this one, we'll not have like a complete revamp. It will all be building up based on this. Since this is like literally day and night compared to what we had versus what we will have, and
I
hence
see.
such a drastic change.
I see. Thank you for that context, Subodh.
Well,
go ahead.
We should be careful. Like as an example, Subodh, if we wanted to test incomplete designs on Core 2 as a way to not require base levels and therefore maybe get more realistic AMCEs, is that something that would not require a breaking change?
No, that will not.
Oh, beautiful.
Because like I said, now we literally pass everything through a JSON saying this is the base level, use this to plot the graph. And we take care of everything internally.
But if we move to a model where there is no base level, we can handle that too?
I mean, there will always be a base level, right? So the attribute not being available will be base level, if that's what I guess you are trying to say, right?
Oh, that's
like
smart.
A reference label.
I was saying something.
There will always be a base label. We can change it without breaking anything.
Oh, that's elegant.
So let me summarize then in layman's terms. What I'm hearing is that we're having finally the ability, after a lot of hard work, to push really version 2, which to us in our history is the foundational platform that has elegant solutions that we can build on, that is scalable, right? And first and foremost, if it's going to production, also stable. Beautiful. That is exciting. Sorry, go ahead, Ali.
I would like to also make another request that Subodh, Tativik, and Mahdi rename Core 2. You gotta find if you guys built it, you guys own it, you guys have to name it.
Okay. And then I just want to be clear then, we're going to be challenging the whole team to go on the test environment and play around with it, report bugs, or incorporate new features in the feature channels, okay? Or feature requests channel. And how long is this testing period? I need specifics, that's how I work.
I mean, if everyone runs, let's say 4 or 5 experiments today, because for most of them it's early morning, we will probably have 2025. If there was anything that we might have not accounted for, will surely pop up then.
Okay, that's fair. Great ask, great timeline, right? Which means that we're then going to position dev to be able to make a big decision and big move on releasing shortly thereafter. This is exciting, guys. Great. Thank you, Mari, for adding that. Yeah, that link. At this point, I know all of the environments. Any other outstanding question or update? Mari, we can align after this. We're already on track to finish the stand up on time. Anything else? Any demos? Any outstanding questions? 3, 2, 1. All right.
One thing for the executives, we have a Y Combinator application due on the 12th, which I believe is Monday. Tuesday.
Yeah, I need to fill up my details.
Yeah,
I'll do.
please fill those out.
To be clear, sorry, I have to be clear. So you're asking, like, in terms of details, like my profile, right?
Yeah,
like
my
details, my back. Got it. Okay. And then we should look and contribute to also the questions that are about the company itself, who Avi and Sarah are leading, right? Is that correct?
Feel free to do that, but the important thing is your own applications, your own profiles.
So the deadline is on the 12th. We should have that done a day or two before that, totally. So that we can review and outline. So what is the deadline?
Let's say Monday.
Monday, beautiful.
I just did one of the things that is a pet peeve, which is Friday afternoon giving an assignment that's due Monday. I apologize, but I think most of you have it done already from last time. But sorry.
And how do you think is our chances this time?
I think it's good. They say that the biggest factor in success is having other YC members vouch for you. Mm-hmm. And we never did that with either of our previous applications. And so, between Pablo and myself and some of our investors, we know, a dozen or so Y Combinator folks. And so we're going to make a really explicit campaign to get them to vouch for us. And plus, like before, we didn't have customers, we didn't have traction, we didn't have partnerships, we didn't have channels. Now we kind of have all those things. So I think it's better, but we'll see. The last application. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of visibility. I'm 10% confident in that statement.
See how it turns out.
Bias to action. Exactly, bias to action. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Thank you, guys. Mari, I'll see you in one of the channels. I'll just join a meeting real quick.